We are back in the IVF lab to take a look at some embryos that are on their third day here. 2 days ago, we saw that these were normally fertilized eggs. Now we're going to assess their development as embryos. In the last 48 hours, each egg should have divided a number of times. First, they divide or cleave into 2 cells. Those 2 cells then become 4, and after another round of cell division, we should have 8 cells. The embryos are kept in petri dishes and incubated inside the special incubator that replicates conditions inside the human body. In order to observe the embryos, we take the petri dish out of the incubator and place it on a microscope stage. The embryos are visualized by the embryologist, who examines each one individually. This is day 3 of development, so we expect to see that an embryo has 8 cells, which are enclosed inside a protective shell, as seen here. We count the cells and note any discrepancies in how the embryo looks. This embryo looks very nice, with symmetrical cells and no cellular fragmentation. This is a grade 1 or perfect embryo. If we see asymmetry or individual cells shedding some fragments, we assign grade 2 to the embryo. Most embryos growing in the lab receive a grade of 1 or 2. However, some embryos can have very uneven cells, with a lot of the cells disintegrating into fragments. These embryos have the worst prognosis and are assigned a grade 3. The embryos are returned to the culture incubator. The overall assessment of each embryo is made using a combination of its cell number and grade. Embryos with a cell number close to 8 and with a grade of 1 or 2 are considered to have the best chance for establishing a pregnancy. Grade 3 embryos and/or those with 4 or fewer cells on day 3 will have limited pregnancy potential. The embryos will be left undisturbed for another 48 hours, at which time we will come back and assess them again. By that time, the embryos should have grown to the blastocyst stage and will look dramatically different to what we have seen here today.